Hello, my name is James D. Lee. I am a Warner Brothers Discovery investor shareholder. And I'm coming to you tonight to talk about some things that I have witnessed in the past several weeks, not just with Warner Brothers, but also with other parts of Hollywood. Now, one thing that has become very troubling is this new ramifications by the New York Times about what's going on at Disney and how corrupt it looks like Bob Iger and his staff is. And this is a serious problem with how they're running their business, and it could possibly go into legal action. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but this is something that people need to pay attention to very seriously, especially with Disney. It doesn't look good, and for once, I'm actually glad I don't have anything to do with that company. Now, that being said, let's look at Warner Brothers. Now, what I have noticed is, especially with the streaming services, everybody except for Netflix is losing money. We are just scrambling as all we can. If you haven't noticed, Max now has MotoGP, National Baseball Association. Everything they can think of is now on Max. They're putting as much stuff as possible. And it looks like they're trying to merge Max with Hulu and Disney Plus. They're trying anything they can to make a profit. Why are they so desperate for this? Because now we're seeing what's fixing to really take place. What am I talking about? It's called Tubi. It's called Pluto TV. It's called Roku and other fractions that are free. You see, I'm old enough to remember before there was cable. Before there was cable, everybody had free TV. Okay, that means it was free. How did the networks make money? They did it through advertisers. And now, with Tubi, Pluto TV, and other companies coming in, they're offering free television. And I mean, it is free. Absolutely 100% free. And investors and advertisers are running their hand over foot. They're fighting each other to get on those networks. And if you think, oh, they're just small, minor companies, Tubi had more viewership, more people watching their programming than Disney Plus did, and Max. And if you didn't know, they have the NFL, they have baseball, they have other stuff on there. And this is free. Absolutely 100% free. What is this, to me, looks like going to happen with the studios? Well, first off, the studios, especially at Warner Brothers, is going to have to stop just getting rid of stuff. They're getting to the point where they can't do it anymore. And I understand that CNN, oh boy, CNN, TBS, TNT, all are basically worthless. CNN's viewership is so bad it's not even funny. In fact, at the quarterly meeting, it was actually said that CNN was worthless. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's extremely bad. Their viewership is so far in the tank, it's not even funny. Yes, they had 6 million people tune in to see that really ridiculous interview with Harris that only lasted 18 minutes. That was pathetic. CNN should be held to a higher standard than this mess that we're seeing today. And yes, as an investor, I can actually say that. CNN is owned by Warner Brothers, which means it falls under Warner Brothers Discovery. And as an investor, I can say that I am very disappointed in what CNN is producing and doing. They are seen now as a joke, almost as bad as MSNBC. With that being said, they need to look at what they're doing to make their programming better, because now the only way these networks are going to make money is by ad revenue. and they're not getting enough people in there to offset the ad revenue. I mean, right now, TNT, TBS, all they have is wrestling and sports. That's the only thing that's saving them. And I've made that clear as well. That's got to change too. I do not see the streaming services being able to sustain what they're doing with the programming they're putting out. Their programming is extremely lacking. And what I mean by that is all you have to do is look at the Acolyte or whatever it was called. That show, they spent $180 million plus $25 million on advertising. No, I take back $50 million on advertising. I apologize. $230 million total on 8 episodes, and they looked terrible. There is no oversight in Hollywood right now on production. House of the Dragon is what Warner Brothers has. It was very good. But again, 8 episodes. Why are we only doing 8 episodes? If we want people to stay on our networks, we have to produce 24 to 48 episode seasons. That's just the bottom line. Or we're going to keep losing money left and right. Because I've already seen Warner Brothers putting programming on Tubi, on Amazon, on Pluto TV. And even MeTV Tunes is getting most of what Cartoon Network had. All these networks are free, folks. All these networks are free that I'm talking about. That means you don't have to spend a dime on any streaming service. You don't have to spend a dime at all. And this is where we have a problem. Because what Warner Brothers needs to do, and the other networks need to do, is start making specific programs for these channels. Keeping them lower the budget. Don't spend more than $10 million an episode. Okay? I mean, don't. You don't need to do, $30, $40 million an episode. If you're going to spend $240 million, keep it at $10 million and do 24 episodes. And set it up for the investors to come in. Because you get investors or advertisers come in to back those shows, you're going to offset the cost. Just throwing money down the toilet is not going to stop the bleeding. You have got to come up with a better game plan than what we have right now. Our movies have to be really thought out. They have to be set up to where we can get everybody in. And when you hear somebody in Hollywood saying this movie is not meant for this genre, you just doomed your movie. I mean, you've used that over and over again, and your movies have over and over and over again failed. You're greenlighting movies that should not be even greenlit. And right now, you have a situation where the writers are losing their jobs left and right. Productions are being cut way back because nobody has any money. The way I understand it right now is Warner Brothers is looking at completely moving out of California and going to Utah. Okay? I mean, this is serious. We have to take everything serious. Personally, I would like to see them come here to Texas, but that's just me. You have to maintain quality control. You have to maintain responsibility. You have to maintain control over your actors and your production staff. You cannot afford to infiltrate and isolate the viewing public. When you say, we're going to do this or that for this small little bitty group over in the corner who doesn't support your product in the first place, you're doomed to fail. We have seen that all year long with movies. Okay? Everybody's talking about, oh, the movies are coming back. No. Pay attention to what movies made money. Pay attention to what movies failed. There is a pattern. Dune, Godzilla, Deadpool, In and Out 2, Beetlejuice. All of those were entertaining. They didn't preach a BS message that other movies did, and they didn't lie to their investors or to the public. One movie that did lie to their viewership and the public was Furiosa. I'm going to explain about Furiosa for a minute. When Furiosa was advertised, Mad Max was thrown all over the place. He's not even in the damn movie. That's lying to the customer. That is blatantly lying to the customer, and that's why that movie failed. You blatantly lied about that movie. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how great it is. But when you lie to the customer, when you lie to the fans, they're not going to support anything. And I don't care what the Hollywood Reporter says. I don't care what Kotaku says or anybody else says. You cannot alienate the majority of the fan base. And the fan base majority are the people that are not on the internet or on social media. Okay? They're not even on social media. They don't care about social media. They enjoy their lives. They want to go see a movie. They want to care about stuff like that. But when they see this mess, we have a problem. We need to go back to doing things for our customers. To hell with the media, to hell with politics, to hell with this agenda crap that's going around. I mean, another group, Sweet Baby Inc. They cost us $200 million. I would cut all ties with them immediately. Do not do any business with Sweet Baby Inc. Anybody that costs us that kind of money should not have a second chance. And if you're doing it a second time, don't complain about it if you lose more money. We do not need to be losing this kind of money. This is stupid. Everything I've said this year, you can go back and look at my other videos, has come true. It's not rocket science. I have 30 years business management experience. I know what I'm talking about. And I can see it coming down the line. You have 1 or 2 movies coming down the line. They all have to be successful. If one flops, we're in trouble. We have to fix things now. I know we have Superman coming. I know we have Dune coming. But those movies have got to perform. I have no doubt Dune will perform. Superman. Right now, if you didn't see our numbers for DC Comics, not one DC comic, not even Superman, was in the top 10. Superman got beat by Transformers, for crying out loud. Not Superman, Batman. Batman is the #1 selling character in DC Comics, and it didn't even top the top 10. He even got beat by Transformers. This is where we're making mistakes. We have got to maintain the reader base. We have got to maintain the customer base. We have got to maintain our customers. We have got to make our customers happy. And we're not doing it because we're kissing ass to some politicians who think all this other bullshit. All these fringe companies who don't mean a damn thing to the bottom line. It is time to fix this. We cannot go another 12 months or 16 months like this. We cannot afford to lose another $9 billion. We cannot. Right now, if we do TV programming and keep the cost down and use Tubi, Pluto TV, and everything to pull in advertisers, we can make a gold mine. Because I believe that's what Elon Musk is going to do with his X studios. He's going to play it for free, and he's going to use advertisers to offset it. And if that happens, it's going to really hurt everything else we're doing. If Elon Musk starts playing with the streaming services and everything, and he does a streaming service for free, we're in trouble. I mean, right now, more people are getting their news sources from X, aka Twitter, than they are any other news organization, especially CNN. CNN is right now on life support. We have to maintain what we're doing. We have to fix what we're doing. House of the Dragon needs to go to 24 episodes a season, not 8. We've got to do more seasons. We have programming. We have IPs sitting out there that we could be doing right now. Buck Rogers is sitting out there. Flash Gordon is sitting out there. Dungeons and Dragons is sitting out there to be used. All we have to do is go ask, pay for them, and do them right, and we'll be making billions of dollars. Those are just 3. I mean, for Christ's sake, we could be working with Todd McFarlane and Spawn. We could be working with Mark Silvestri and his group. There's IPs all over the place that we could be working with. Again, we need to find the right IPs. We need to do the shows right. We need to do them at least 24 episodes a year. That way we keep our viewers at home and they're not going someplace else. And if we have to put something on Tubi, put the season that's the year before. We can still get investors for it. We can still get advertisers for it. We can still make money off of it. I have not seen any advertisement for MotoGP on Max. We have MotoGP, for crying out loud, on Max that people can watch. We have Motor Trend on Max. We have racing on Max. We have baseball on Max. We have all this stuff on Max, and nobody is advertising it. Why not? We're supposed to have an advertising department, and our advertising department sucks. We are wasting money and not making anything back when we could be making billions of dollars in profit. Billions of dollars in profit. But we're not doing it. And this isn't just David Zaslav's problem. This is everybody on the board of Warner Brothers. And you have to understand something. Warner Brothers is kind of weird. There's 3 boards. There's the Warner Brothers Discovery Board, which David Zaslav sits on. Then there's 2 boards below them. One is Discovery by itself. The other one is Warner Brothers by itself. The one I'm talking about right now is Warner Brothers. They're the ones screwing up. They're the ones costing us billions of dollars. Discovery's doing pretty good. But Warner Brothers, holy cow. We got to fix things. Okay? We got to get our stock back up. We got to get our profits back up. We cannot afford another $9 billion loss this month. Luckily, Beetlejuice is making us money. Beetlejuice is actually a good movie. He did really good on it. But that's Tim Burton again. He knows what to do. He understands how to make a good movie. Okay? The other thing is, so I'm going to talk about this other thing. There is a petition going around for signatures for Disney's Acolyte. Okay? That movie was garbage. That show was garbage. But there's a very small fringe group. Okay, when I mean small fringe group, I'm talking less than 250,000 people. Okay? You want a second season of The Acolyte. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to do it. Real simple. Get everybody together, come up with $180 million, come up with somebody to go up to them saying, we have $180 million in cash. We will pay for a second season of The Acolyte. 90% they'll give it to you. You don't believe me? Kevin Costner did the same thing for his Western. And he got his Western made. You show up at any studio when you got almost $200 million for a project, I don't care what studio it is, they're going to listen to you. But if you think a piece of paper with just 75,000 people's signatures on it is going to do something, you're kidding yourself. They had more viewership than that for the show, and it got canceled. You have to look at the majority of the fan base. And these little groups out here on the sides, like in Reddit or on YouTube or whatnot, those are minorities. The majority do not even get on social media. And I'll tell you something else. You're going to have to go after Gen X because Gen Z doesn't care about shows. They don't care about money. They have no clue what reality is, and they're not even in their 30s yet. Gen X has all the money. Gen X is self-sufficient, and Gen X goes sees what they want to. Who do you think went and saw Beetlejuice? Who do you think went and saw Deadpool Wolverine? Who do you think went and saw Godzilla and Dune? It was Gen X. And when it came to In-N-Out 2, it was Gen X taking their kids to see it. Gen X is the key to saving our industry. Do not ignore Gen X. Now, I've ranted for about 20 minutes. I've said what I needed to say, but things have to change. We cannot afford to keep losing billions of dollars each quarter. We got to turn things around, and we got to do it fast. We don't have 16 months to wait. We need to have stuff going right now. What I mean by right now, you need to sit down, and I would say get Dungeons and Dragons. I can come up with two complete series for you within 48 days. Get Buck Rogers, get Flash Gordon. All 4 series, 2 of D&Ds, 1 of Flash Gordon, 1 of Buck Rogers. You can have series in the can, ready to start filming within 90 days. You can do pre-production within a half a year. You would be already starting on your season 1 shoots. And you could do 24 episodes. You wouldn't have to do 8 episodes. Think about it. You have 24 episodes of, say, Dungeons and Dragons, the first series. It goes 24 episodes. Okay? You go 4 weeks. Bam. Here comes Flash Gordon for 24 episodes. That's a whole year. Everybody stays on Max. More people come into Max. After that year, you roll out Dungeons and Dragons Season 2. Buck Rogers, Season 2. Then you make a movie. No, not Buck Rogers, I'm talking Flash Gordon. Then you make 2 movies. A D&D movie, completely separate from the Dungeons and Dragons. Plus you have House of the Dragon going too. And then you have Buck Rogers as a movie. You could have all these shows going right now, making us all this money on advertisements, in theaters making us money, if it was played out correctly. All this could be done within a year. With Superman, DC Comics sitting over here on the side going too. You could have all this stuff going right now, all of it going right now, to make us tons of money, along with Godzilla, Dune. We'd be making billions of dollars every year. Billions of dollars every year. But you're greenlighting stuff that is making us absolutely nothing. You cannot afford to make these shows and movies that make nothing. We cannot afford to waste this kind of money. It is time to fix things. It is time to fix things now, not later down the line. We're in the best shape compared to other studios. If you haven't noticed, I haven't said anything about Paramount. They're completely in the shambles. Most likely they're going to be bought out, torn apart, crumbled into nothingness. They'll use the logo, but it ain't going to be the same. Paramount is the picture child, just like MGM was, on how to destroy your own company because of your own stupidity. Warner Brothers, you cannot go down that line. If you go down that line just like they did, you're going to fall apart. You're going to crumble into nothingness. MGM, Paramount are crumbled into nothingness. We cannot be number 3. We've got to fix things now. We got to rebound to become, once again, the greatest movie company in the world. And we have only about 16 months to do it. My name is James D. Lee, and I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.